Austin Kiesig. I am Senior Director of Revenue Operations at Deel. Deel is one of the fastest growing software companies in history. We're 5 years old. We have nearly 4,000 employees and several $100 million of revenue, growing fast. Our onboarding experience with DealHub has been exemplary. When we chose DealHub, a big part of the reason was when we did due diligence on the customer success team, the capabilities, spoke to reference customers who had implemented DealHub before. The things that resonated with us were speed. Our company culture is very much about speed. That's a big part of why we're one of the fastest growing SaaS companies in history. So we knew we could take a DealHub implementation that maybe with another vendor could take 6 to 12 months and squeeze it into 3 to 4. And we actually invited them to challenge us on where we could avoid mistakes. And that's certainly borne out in our actual experience, so we value that expertise. And then I think the actual way the software is built was a big differentiator for us. We didn't want software that required us to get into the guts of our Salesforce instance and write a whole bunch of custom Apex code. The DealHub solutions we deployed were CPQ, Deal Room, inclusive of e-signature. So we have a proprietary billing engine built into our product. What we really needed was the whole front end of quote to cash, reimagined and redelivered for our sales reps and our customers. And the feedback from sales has been extremely enthusiastic in terms of how they build a quote, how they get approvals, and ultimately what they put in front of customer for review and signature. I promised our sales organization that they would be able to do simple deals, end-to-end quote creation through customer signature in 10 minutes at the low end. And we've delivered on that promise. I think the speediest a rep could have done it in the past was maybe a full business day. And then for our average deal, which may not be as simple, I think we've probably cut down on processing time by something like 80%. I think the advantage of DealHub is that if we change our mind on how we want to run the business, we can self-administer those changes with business administrators rather than technical administrators and make changes in a matter of minutes that cascade out to our global sales team. So that ability to iterate and self-serve on the admin has been extremely valuable for my deal desk team. Some of the capabilities that have made a big difference to us, one, the UI for the reps, the user experience, I think is very intuitive. Of the platforms you looked at, DealHub clearly puts a premium on the rep experience and navigability, ease of use. That is critical for our reps because to go from an offline process to one where they're adjacent to the CRM, in the CRM, and looking for ease, looking for workflows that don't beg more questions than they answer was really critical for them. So I think to see the DealHub was extremely well rated for rep user experience, to have reps and sales leaders internally, some who hadn't even used DealHub but had heard about it in the industry and knew that it was a great rep experience. To provide that endorsement without even being direct users themselves was huge. The ease of workflow approvals was also a huge differentiator for us. So for people in sales management to be able to quickly and intuitively review a proposed quote and understand the fundamentals of the deal, the economics of the deal, and integrate with Slack. We're a very heavy Slack user. And quickly get the right information and either approve or request more information was another big differentiator. And then finally, being able to put a very professional and customizable quote and the customer experience in front of prospects using Deal Room, I think was another huge win for our sales organization. So the concept of guided selling embedded in DealHub was actually a capability we knew would improve the way our reps sold, not just help us adapt what we'd already done. It would actually force us to add new capabilities. And what I mean by this is we're an incredibly fast-growing organization. And the way our reps navigated individual opportunities with 7 different products they could sell, I call it a choose your own adventure challenge. There was very little repetition in the way they might think about and construct a quote and think about commercial terms and give-gets. With DealHub, we will able to architect for the first time within Salesforce a really nicely guided flow through commercial considerations, through guardrails, through give-gets. And I think that's been revolutionary in terms of helping train the average seller as they use the software, rather than relying on offline enablement and then hoping that they follow those same footsteps when they're actually in a live deal. The way we used our sales organization to drive adoption here, we had an executive sales champion who was very much a part of the due diligence and procurement process, where we decided upon DealHub as the vendor of choice for us. We knew that his buy-in, being an experienced enterprise seller who had used advanced CPQ instances before, we knew that buy-in would be critical. We'd actually have those reps come up in the enablement sessions and talk about their experience building quotes, sending them out for signature, and what a revolutionary change it was. So to have those reps drop that soundbite of what used to take hours or days now takes minutes was great for us to be able to generate buy-in and enthusiasm, and we did the full global launch. DealHub fits quite prominently in our plans to scale Deel. We've taken the percentage of our deals that we require to flow through DealHub quoting and driven it close to 100% in just a few short weeks of being live. We started with committed deals. We still do some pay-as-you-go deals. We now have them running through that engine because we made CPQ the gateway to uploading all commercial terms into our billing engine. So reps know that every deal now flows through DealHub. And then increasingly, we want to use the data coming back out from DealHub on the way we're doing business. Average discount levels per rep and manager, different bundles, win rates associated with different deal constructs, to put more guardrails within the DealHub platform on what type of deals are self-serve approval versus require approvals, and to give reps more autonomy where it's appropriate, and to constrain their autonomy, making sure that we had a clear, compliant chain of custody from initial quote approved all the way through billing and invoicing and commercial data residing in our billing platform is really important to us, particularly as we entertain plans to potentially go public in the future. So DealHub has actually become a critical link in that quote to cash value chain and making sure we're running our business compliantly and taking care of our customers' end-to-end sales process and billing experience in a responsible way. DealHub is a really critical part of our strategic go-to-market planning and execution going forward, because as we evolve from selling a few point solutions to our global customers for their hiring needs, to selling an entire platform with 6, 7, 8 solutions they can use in tandem, the way we think about bundling products, discounting, special incentives for customers to grow on the platform with us, to have a CPQ and quoting engine that the business can quickly modify and adapt and try things and get quick data feedback loops on what may be working and what terms are landing wins versus not, that can create rapid visibility for approvers on the attributes of the deal they care about. It's right at the center of everything we want to iterate on in our go-to-market strategy and execution. So having a platform that couldn't do even one piece of that would be a huge liability for us. At every step, when we laid out to the DealHub team how quickly we wanted to move, what our business requirements were, how critical the success was, the team responded with, great. We could probably even go a little bit faster on that thing, than you initially thought. But at the same time, letting us know when it was healthy to slow down and do thorough QA and get it right before a full launch. So I think that balance between we can move as fast as you guys need to go, but we also want to help you do this the right way was really unique among the vendors we talked to and has played out exactly as we had hoped in reality. So I think from the the cultural and speed nexus, that was huge for us.